Just as we did in December 1994, Northwest Airlines finished the first quarter of 1995 as the #1 on-time airline. Why? 43,000 great reasons.
Now, on Sportscenter, the Stanley Cup Finals. Pepe Lemieux and the cast of Wings. Where else can you hear somebody say, hey, nice octopus? Nice comeback for the other Lemieux, and Jose, too, stretched to the limit or back in the big time. And Jimmy Connors, because he got a nice invitation, a nice green invitation. And Mike Tyson coming back, no less.
It's my pleasure to be here always, to come back to New York City.
So's Darryl, but everybody else seems to be steamed, even the White House. Remember that All-Star game? Randy's in Chicago tonight, and so's John Kruk. Greg and the Braves are in Cincinnati, and we'll have another edition of How to Do It. No, not that way either. Ah, correct. Lesson 2, fan dance. 287-game winner dance. Lesson 3, how to enjoy the trial. Marsha on SportsCenter. Next.
Warm greetings. Welcome to the big show. Alongside tag team partner Keith Overman, I'm Dan Patrick.
Coming up, back to Detroit for more reaction in the wake of Game 2 of the Cup. Labor is the right word for what's going on in the NBA and the flap over Darryl Strawberry. But we start with Jose back in the town where that little home run bounced off his head.
That was 2 years ago
Oh, yeah.
when he was playing with the Rangers. Jose Canseco didn't know Cleveland could look so good. Canseco spent the previous 3 days with the Red Sox AAA club in Pawtucket. He called his 3-day, 2-game stay, quote, traumatizing. Fans booed Canseco's 2 performances and even pounded on the truck he was in when he left the park last night. Canseco said, quote, you'd think I had murdered a family of 10. Jose on hand, ready to get back into the swing of things. Canseco's first at bat facing Chad O.J. Caught looking, finished 0 for 4. Top third, Lee Tinsley at the plate. Omar Vizquel, the great play, gets Mike McFarland on the 4th, scoreless after 4. Sox, 1 through 4 hitters, had a tough night. Tinsley, the tapper, O.J. throws him out. Sox, 1 for 4 hitters, 1 for 16 with an RBI. 5th inning, bases loaded. Kenny Lofton, the double to right. 3 runners will come plateward. Perry, Tomei, and Pena, 3-0 Indians. Now in the 7th, Carlos Baerga. The double brings in Omar Vizquel, 5-0 Cleveland. 9th inning, Greg Olson comes in to close it out, facing Chris Donald. Donald's wearing number 6. The last Red Sox to do so was Bill Buckner. Donald's first hit as a Red Sox. First appearance for Olson. Ironically, had the Indians not brought him up to the major leagues, he would have become a free agent, and the Red Sox were interested in signing him. O.J. picks up the win. He improves to 3-0 on the year. At Camden Yards, the O's and the Yanks. This one is not complete, but we will guarantee highlights of this one when it does end. Steve Howe in relief for the Yankees right now in a slugfest. Gerald Williams a grand slam. Danny Tartabull still being showcased 2 for 2 with a solo home run. Chris Hoyles has also hit a solo home run, his 7th on the year. Let me give you the mic.
Thanks. In the National, the prime matchup was the Braves and Greg Maddux against the Reds and C.J. Nitkowski. Quick now, who was the higher draft choice? Answer, Nitkowski, chosen in the first round by the Reds a year ago this month. Maddux was the Braves' second choice back in '84 after they got the man they really wanted in the first round, Drew Hall. At Riverfront, Braves seeking their 7th straight. Here's Maddux in command. Lenny Harris, have a seat. And fielding his position, the pitcher Nitkowski actually connects. Maddux all the way over. Great scoop, full extension, year out of there. The Braves' defense was alert behind him. Jeff Plowser, they're not going to get him. He's out, Larkin. And Maddux had a lot of runs to work with. In the first, Chipper Jones, and he hit the ball real hard. I had a dream about Chipper Jones. He came to me and said, go back into rotisserie baseball. I don't know why. First right-handed home run for Chipper in his career, 2-0 Braves. Still top 1, Justice on second. Charlie O'Brien doubles him home. The Braves scored 4 in the first, more than enough, of course, for Maddux. Gets the number 3 hitter, Ron Gant, and the breaking ball. Next up is Reggie Sanders. Curveball for strike 1. Curveball for strike 2. So fastball for strike 3. Doesn't even move. Forget it. Eddie Taubensee is the next hitter. Fastball strike 1. So now you're thinking curve. Fastball, strike 2. So now you're thinking curve. Changeup, strike 3. And then Maddox got into a little bit of trouble in the 6th with 2 men on. Maddox versus Eric Anthony with Gant and Sanders on board. Swing and a miss, and Ron Gant yells at him, you're good. Or he said, hello. Maddox, 6 shutout innings, 8 strikeouts. The Braves win. 10-2 is the final, as once again the Braves go over 10 runs. That is 7 consecutive for Atlanta, as the Braves have just decimated the Reds the last 2 nights. Jones, 4 for 6. The rookie has 10 home runs. Be my bet early on for Rookie of the Year honors. Now to Montreal to see which weird stuff happened to the Astros tonight. There's Pedro Martinez getting the gloss off the ball, and then Derek Bell getting the rest of the gloss off the ball to right center. Brian Hunter would score, as would Biggio. They're not going to get him either. Astros are up 2-0. Still in the first, a lot of early run production in the National League tonight. Scott Service to right. And what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on out there, Tony Tarasco? They're not going to get anybody on this. Magadan scores himself. The Astros lead 5-zip. Bottom of the first now. Moises Alou. Tony Tarasco is going to try to get it. He slams into Scott Service. Best to Mike Scioscia. And he holds on. Top of the 7th inning now. Jeff Bagwell against Gil Heredia. It's deep, Dan, and I think it's his 100th career home run. That it is. The Astros win by the final of 7-4. Shane Reynolds, the victor, and Pedro Martinez, who goes back and forth between great outings and mediocre outings, has one of the latter and loses this game, and it slips now to 5-3. Dan?
You can keep yours. I have my own now.
Thank you.
On Sunday, Andy Van Slyke was batting .159 on a last-place team in Baltimore. On Monday, he was batting .500 for a first-place team in Philadelphia. The 48-hour turnaround left Slick feeling like, quote, a rookie. Tyler Green is a rookie, but he hasn't been pitching like one lately. Tonight in New York, he was in search of his 6th win of the year as he was hooking up opposite Pete Harnisch. Top third tied at 1. Green, the high chopper to Edgardo Alfonso. It stays fair, a double for Green. 2 batters later, Mariano Duncan. Green will come plateward. It's 2-1 Phillies, the double off the wall. Still in the 3rd. Hurry up, Tyler. Darren Dutch Dalton, the base hit. Mickey Morandini scores. Ryan Thompson having problems. Duncan scores. 4-1 Phils. Green looking to go the distance and looking to face Bobby Bonilla, who nearly signed with the Phils a few years ago. Freezes him. Rico Brogna, though. Green gets the win, looking very, very sharp. The final 8-2. Hayes goes 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, as Philadelphia has won 6 consecutive games on the road. To Three Rivers, Giants, Pirates. Royce Clayton, good to see him back in action after last night's beating. Bottom first, no score. Don Slott into the gap. Al Martin, Jay Bell score. 2-0 Pirates, just like that. Top second, Mark Carrion at the plate. Gone. Off Esteban Loaiza. 2-1 Pirates. Carrion came up again in the 6th. Giants down 3-1. It's now 3-2. That would be 2 home runs in the game. Jim Leland watching his lead slip away at bottom 6, tied at 3. Mark Johnson goes the opposite way for his 8th home run. Solo homer, 4-3 Pirates.
On a 3-2 pitch.
Pirate fans didn't seem too interested. Either that or reading about why I didn't have my microphone on. Pittsburgh wins at 5-3. Orlando Merced, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. And Sluggo, Don Slott, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Clayton back in the lineup. Carlos Garcia extends his hitting streak to 15 games. Keith?
The most baseball-active White House since the Washington Senators moved to Texas is at it again. President Clinton's drug czar has ripped the Yankees for having signed Darryl Strawberry. Lee Brown, former police chief of New York City, described Strawberry today as a, quote, recent illegal drug user and said his signing sent the worst possible message to the youth of America.
What is occurring here with the Yankees signing Darryl Strawberry just sends a terrible, terrible message. There are many athletes that are assumed by our youth to be using drugs. Many are not using drugs. The vast, vast majority are not. They're the ones we should put up front and hold out as role models.
It's amazing that they would sign him, I feel, anyway. I feel that, you know, that these guys that break the law and the rules of baseball and take drugs, and they've given a second chance, and then they even break that second chance. I don't know. It's just something that I just cannot understand.
In reply to all this, George Steinbrenner issued a statement in which he said of Strawberry, quoting here, "If we can help turn him around, it will be a wonderful example to our children. I don't know if he can play baseball, but I'll find out. If I fail in his rehabilitation and his comeback, I'll take the blame." The Yankee boss also said he would gladly concur with Drug Czar Brown's request to meet with him to discuss the situation. Dan?
Mike Tyson returned home to a hero's welcome Tuesday as hundreds of people braved the 90-degree heat in Harlem, hoping to get a glimpse of the former heavyweight champ of the world. Don King introduced Tyson as, quote, "our son, our brother, our future." Tyson spent Tuesday morning promoting his August 19th fight with Peter McNeely. The afternoon block party took place in front of the famed Apollo Theater.
It's my pleasure to be here as always, to come back to New York City after for so many derogatory papers and writings. And the fact is there's powers to be that don't want you out here and don't want me to relate to you. And I just knew we beat them anyway because God's on our side. During my stay, I've learned I embraced Islam, and from Islam I learned in all our endeavors we have to be strong, brave, and courageous in life in general. And Allahu Akbar, and all my love to you. May Allah bless you all. I'm a little nervous now because there's so many people here, but I love you all.
Tyson's return prompted a candlelight vigil for abused women. That took place Monday night. Tyson spoke about his conversion to Islam, but did not answer any questions dealing with his conviction.
Coming up, the showdown between the goalie who's been sleepless in Detroit and the right wing who's been twice the guy in the playoffs that he was during the season. Game 2 of the Cup, we'll speak to the guy with the game-winning goal coming up. Also still ahead of us tonight, the other Lemieux comes back after consulting with Michael Jordan. And Michael's league in a labor war, players versus their own union. The latest shots ahead. And then from inside the huddle, Stillwater's running deep or not running at all in Philadelphia. All that's ahead. This is SportsCenter.
Got anything to eat?
What are you? I'm Faith. I think that we could use a snack. You need to relax. I'm on oil.
Hiya, Joe. You got anything to eat?
I got these Eagle snacks.
Eagle snacks. Eagle snacks. What you feed your face?
Concerned about your family's safety? Then note that Subaru Legacy wagons, like Volvo wagons, come with many safety features, plus one even Volvo doesn't offer. Subaru all-wheel drive, which automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip. One reason, perhaps, why the Legacy wagon outsells all Volvo wagons combined. For true safety isn't just helping you survive an accident, it's helping you avoid one. For a limited time, get 1.9% financing or lease for just $199 a month.
Your wife says, we need a vacation. So you pack the bags, the kids, your wife, and you go on vacation. You're a dad. It's your job. You're on the road. You stop, you eat, you spend $1 zillion on souvenirs. You're a dad. That's your job. 3 hours later, the transmission goes. You curse, you cry, you call a mechanic. He arrives, he prods, he pulls, he fixes, you pay. You're a dad. That's your job. Luckily, your Citibank card took care of it all. They're a bank. It's their job.
I was driving down a road, and to my right, there was a rather deep pothole. Pow! I survived. That's the problem. You want to prevent potholes. DuPont's technology can make a road which will last longer. The chemistry that we use to modify asphalt is similar to the chemistry that we use to make other products. We can change the molecule so that it can be used in perfume bottles, roller skates, bowling pins. We can make golf balls that spin better. That changed the game of golf. That was my idea. I feel like I've accomplished something, I guess.
SportsCenter is brought to you by DuPont. Better things for better living.
Welcome back to SportsCenter. Mario Lemieux didn't consider playing in the NHL again until 6 months ago when his back began to feel a little bit better for the first time in years. Still, Lemieux wasn't ready to rush into any decisions, so he decided to get some advice on a comeback from Michael Jordan, who told the 4-time scoring champs to condition himself mentally and physically to be the best again.
This time last year, I thought that, my career was over, and I had no plans of coming back. But like I said, this last 6 months, I started to feel a lot better, a lot stronger, and not as fatigued anymore. So during the last few months, I really started to think that I could play this game again. As far as my schedule for next season, we're looking at between 60 and 70 games. Of course, we'll have to take a look at the schedule, and probably won't play too many back-to-back games.
The Pens started to adjust to life without Mario back in 1990 when he underwent surgery for a herniated disc. The team struggled for 2+ seasons before playing .600 hockey in his absence.
Here are 2 facts about the Detroit Red Wings you probably did not know going into tonight's second game of the Stanley Cup Finals. 1, Coach Scotty Bowman's contract ran out over a week ago. If he wanted to legally, he could go work for the Devils starting in the 3rd period some night. 2, goalie Mike Vernon is not getting enough sleep at home. They're building near his house. Construction begins with jackhammers at 7 each morning. Just a little context for you. Now, less talk, more highlights. And I'm telling you, he needs his rest, so he's just going to have a little nap right here in the crease. Claude Lemieux, they call him Pepe. Yeah, and he gives Mark Howe a Pepe. Second period, we're still scoreless. The Wings, though. Fedorov shoots, Brodeur saves. Slava Kozlov puts the biscuit in the basket on the power play goal. 1-0 Wings. There's an octopus to put next to your 52 Mickey Mantle. Kozlov's reward, he gets hit real hard. He gets knocked into game 3. Third period, we're tied at 1. Fedorov, brought to you by Doug Brown and by Slava Fetisov. It is 2-1 Detroit off some great passing, and the Red Wings fans have hope. But then with less than 10 minutes left in the third, Niedermeyer, dead, says Scott Bowman. We're tied at 2, and here's the controversy. Paul Coffey goes down to block the shot. He gets hurt. Terry Gregson does not blow the whistle. The reverse of the Van Hellemond controversy back in the first series between Quebec and the Rangers. Sean Chambers shot off the Vernon save. Jim Dowd put it home. A 3-2 Jersey lead. They add an empty net goal, and Coffey adding injury to injury as the Devils take a commanding 2-0 lead going home to New Jersey, which may only be their home for a few more games. Ironically, the first time the Devils ever played a game in the Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands, they had the Stanley Cup on display out in the lobby, and nobody thought they'd see it in the immediate future. In any event, only 3 teams have ever come back from down 0-2 in the finals to win the series. That would make Detroit being number 4 if they have any hopes of doing it. Game 3 is Thursday night in Jersey. After this game 2 are Steve Levy, chin wagged with the guy who scored the winning goal, Jim Dowd. Steve?
Guys, thanks very much. Joining me is Jim Dowd, the hero of this one. I bet they're partying in Brick, New Jersey. The only native to ever play for the New Jersey Devils scores the game-winning goal to win it for Game 2. Congratulations on what must be a tremendous night for you.
Thank you. I mean, it was unbelievable. Just, I don't know, I can't explain it really. It's just unbelievable.
A scratch in the first game. When did you find out you were playing in Game 2?
Yesterday, actually, during practice. Larry Robinson told me, and Chuck Curran, the goalie coach, told me, be ready, you're going to be in there.
All right, take us through it. Tie hockey game, final minute and a half. Tell us what it looked like to you.
It's just sort of a play that developed in mid-zone. I gave it back to Sean Chambers. He gave it right back. I gave it to Billy. Billy came down, took a shot. As you see, it was blocked. And he made a good play. He just threw it back to the point, because their points were pretty much, our points are open a lot. And Abby made a great play over to Sean Chambers, and I just went to the front of the net. And Sean had made a great shot, and the puck just came right to me. And, I don't know, just a pretty good play. A little bit of luck, but we'll take it.
The hockey world has to be shocked to go up 2-0 to win both games in Detroit. Are the guys in your locker room shocked?
We're not, shocked. I mean, yeah, it's great to be up 2-0, but we know it's a long haul still. You got to win 4 games. And the way we've been going, whether we lose a game or win a game, after the game, we forget about it and move on to the next day and then the next game, win or lose.
All right, probably be tough for Jacques to take you out of the lineup for Game 3.
Well, see what happens.
Congratulations. Way to go.
Thank you.
All right, Jim Dowd of the New Jersey Devils, the hero. Let's go back to Keith.
Thank you very much, Steve. I think Detroit fans might suggest Terry Gregson one of the heroes in this game, too, but that's as maybe. More from Joe Louis Arena later on in the big show. These notes, Game 2 is the decider in most playoff series. This year, as you see, the top number, 13 of the 14 Game 2 winners have won their series. In the finals, 75% of all Game 2 winners win the Stanley Cup, and over the last 10 years, it's 9 out of 10. One other note relating to the Devils, at least, the latest word was, out of sources around the NHL, that the Nashville thing is not done. So it might be a big week in New Jersey hockey history. Dan?
Back to baseball, where a pair of second-place teams reunited in Detroit tonight, but the Tigers and Rangers have been riding baseball's escalator in opposite directions. Texas, which trails the Angels by a game, has dropped 4 of their last 6. Detroit, which trails the Red Sox by 5.5 games, has won 8 of their last 11. Rangers up 1-0, top second. They'd been without an extra base hit in their last 3 games. I think the streak ended. Number 3 on the year for Pudge Rodriguez. Tigers with 2 men aboard in the 4th. Darren Oliver with a wild pitch brings in Chris Gomez. Tigers would plate another one and a sac fly to tie it at 2-2. The Rangers would bust out Rusty Greer. Gone. You can't stop Rusty Greer. You can only hope to contain him. The upper deck shot, 6th of the year. 5-2 Rangers. I'll bet Sparky can't even watch. No, he couldn't watch it. He didn't want to see what would happen next. Juan, gone. 4th on the year. Rangers go on to win it by the final. Actually, this is a pitching duel, I guess, at Tiger Stadium. 8-6 the final. Gonzalez, 2 for 4. Greer, 3 RBIs. Chad Curtis, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs in the losing effort. Travis Fryman hit his 3rd home run of the season. To Oakland, the A's and the Twins. Steve Oliveros let the leadoff man in each of the first 4 innings get a board, and this is how he got out of trouble once. Second inning, picks off Marty Cordova. Scott Brocious, the star of the day. Bottom of the first. First pitch, Pat Mahomes is down 1-0. Brocious bringing life to the few fans who did attend this game. Witness protection, okay? That's Brocious again. 3 for 4, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 3-0 A's in the 5th. Top 9, Kirby Puckett did not play, but he was ready just in case. The Twins got to Dennis Eckersley. 2 on, 2 out, 5-2 A's. Rich Becker, the tying run at the plate. The screamer, Craig Paquette makes the running catch. Eck and the A's hold on to win it by the final of 5-2. This is the 3rd time Brocious has homered twice in a game. Oliveros, who is the AL ERA leader, has allowed 1 or no earned runs in 7 of his 10 starts. Speaking of ERAs, Pat Mahomes lowered his ERA despite giving up 4 runs in 6 innings. He did allow 3 more home runs, upping his seasonal total to 13. Only Mike Muthina and Dave Fleming have coughed up more.
The NBA and its Players Association have come to terms on the basics of a new collective bargaining agreement. That's tonight, according to a source quoted by the Associated Press. However, protesting agents claim they now have the signatures of at least 50 players who want to decertify the union because it has not been keeping their players informed.
Well, I think that's the feeling of the players, that they have received insufficient information. To regard as a blackout perhaps is a little extreme, but I think they don't feel they've received sufficient information from the union in order to make an informed choice about whether the collective bargaining agreement is in their interest.
Nothing could be further from the truth with respect to the degree of communication that's been involved from me to the officers and player reps of this association.
The response was a letter on behalf of the players represented by the advisory committee, which is approximately 15 agents that represent probably upwards of 60% of all the players in the league, simply demanding a full disclosure of all the terms of the proposals made by the union on their behalf, because it would be impossible for the players to ratify proposals that they weren't comfortable with.
If we make the deal, every single player in the NBA will have in front of him the exact same information that the player rep who was responsible for making the vote will have. So there'll be an opportunity to communicate to the player rep and, of course, directly to me, every player's feelings, and then we'll have a vote.
According to the Associated Press's source, the new labor agreement would up the players' take to 57% of the gross and cut the college draft from 2 rounds to 1 starting in '99, but it would also include a rookie salary cap and limit rookie contracts to 3 years, thus in turn severely limiting agents' commissions. Dan.
Still to come on the show, call him Rare McNair. The Oilers' top pick leaves mouths agape following his minicamp performance. Chris Mortensen will tell all from inside the huddle. That is the first time we've ever used the word agape on Sportscenter. Also on the rundown, things looking up for the Mariners tonight when they visited Comiskey with a big unit on the hill. The Blue Jays taking this teamwork thing a little bit too far. And we will hear more reaction from the signing of Darryl Strawberry and Peter Gadd.